Okay, so today we are planning to talk about free ways to generate leads with kvCORE. These are our next level sessions. We've been doing these Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at the 4 o'clock Eastern hour. If you go into kvCORE, just a reminder, everybody, if you go into kvCORE and you go to the top right here where it says View Live Training Calendar, you can kind of see links to all of these sessions and to everything else we have going on. There's a lot generally going on with the training team here at Inside Real Estate, a few events a day. Some of it has to do with our marketplace add-ons. Some of it has to do with just basics, like just knowing what you got your hands on here with kvCORE. And a lot of it is connected to our Agent Success Plan. So definitely remember that calendar exists and is out there in the wild for you to check out. We do put these replays, all of them go into the next level members area, and some of them we do stream to YouTube. I'll stream today's to YouTube, and you can find that at insiderealestate.com/webinars. So you'll see like last week's session with Kevin Sabrin about LinkedIn networking tactics. That was pretty good. We did some kvCORE success with QR codes. And then Lo, I wasn't in, but I heard it was a really good session about just our different learning and training resources too, if you want to check out last week's stuff. So as always, chat in the chat box. We'll get started here now. I'll stop rambling on. If you have any questions about their comments, or if there's anything you want us to explore today, after I get done with the core content here, that's what we're here to do. So somebody just say, hey, I can hear you. That would help out. Just say, how do you do or something, or tell me what the weather's like in your market or something like that, just so I know I'm not talking to air, and we'll get started. So, so again, the topic today is free ways to generate leads with kvCORE. Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Thomas. And I figured we had a request yesterday. Somebody said, hey, is there a doc or something that shows free ways? And we have some stuff in our help desk portal. And I could have sworn that we've done this webinar in recent times, but I couldn't find it. So I thought it might be good. It's kind of a getting back to basics, but also I think it's good to remember that you don't necessarily need to spend money to make money in real estate. You actually don't, other than your licensing, of course. You know, and your MLS fees and everything else, and the gas in your car. But, you know, it does make sense to scale up, run Facebook ads, use third-party lead sources if you're trying to grow a business that's very big, or you're just trying to kickstart things and you have more money than time. But if you're a new agent sitting there, or if you're just seasoned and you don't need 50 leads a day, you're just trying to do 1 or 2 transactions a month, you might not need to spend any money, right? There are plenty of options for having success and generating leads and sales and commission checks without spending it. So we're just going to go into some of the ways that you might approach this. And I would argue that probably any one of these, for the most part, if you focused on it in isolation, could work. So let's jump on in here. See some names. Hey, Goran, good to see you, man. So let's jump in here and start with social posting of squeeze links. And you guys can tell me in the comments if this is way too basic, if you like the basics. But let's go into kvCORE. And there's this whole idea that I usually talk to anybody coming in new, if I'm like, especially if I'm in person in an office for some reason, and people are like, well, what do? I haven't even logged into kvCORE. I've been meaning to get to that. The first thing I always say is, hey, just get into the practice of once a day building some kind of interesting squeeze link and posting that to your social profiles. And you know, we just did stuff on LinkedIn. We always talk about Facebook, but basically don't worry about posting them everywhere if you have time to, but pick that social network that you're going to be focused on, where you like to hang out. For most people, it is Facebook, and post a property link of the day or a property of the day. So I'm going to go into the lead engine here. I'm going to click build squeeze page. And I'm just going to kind of start searching, right? So generally you're going to have an area. Now your link of the day could be a specific neighborhood or something. I'm just going to choose my county. And then I'm going to start clicking these boxes. Now I have listing types. I can do condos. I can do different niche categories down here under options. So let's do, what's one we haven't done in a while? So adult 55 plus. So I'll choose that. And then let's do high-end adult 55 plus. We'll get a little jiggy with it. So basically the idea is just play around with the search fields in your database here and start to build out a link. Now my source, I'll do Facebook. My hashtag will do 55 plus. right? So as it comes in, I know what hashtag it came from. And then do I want to make people register or not? For the purposes of this content, you can say, hey, make them register immediately. Or you can say, I'm never going to make my social sphere register because I just want them to remember that I'm in real estate. And that's one of the big benefits of doing this on a daily basis. Isn't so much about generating fresh leads. It's just reminding the people who know you in your social sphere that you're in real estate by posting something interesting real estate related. So I'm just going to, I'll set this to immediate to generate leads. Click generate link. I am in the wrong account, aren't I? Here we go. Okay. It cookied on me, so it brought up somebody else's account that I was in. Let me make sure this goes to the right site. So I've got the link. Yeah, unfortunate. 1 second, guys. I just want to, I'll use this one as an example, but we have an internal system for managing different accounts, and it's cookieing me to the last one I was in. Okay. So I've got a link here. To this properties. I might need to fix it because of that cookie issue. Bear with me. That worked. Okay. I just changed the domain. Okay. So now I have my link ready to go. I can go over to Facebook. And I know this is super basic for a lot of you guys, but I think it's good to hear. And if you don't have time to do this every day, it's kind of one of those things that you can hand off to an assistant or an admin, you know, maybe a buyer's agent at your office. There's my redheaded kid smiling big and in my memories. There we go. So, and then what you're going to do is something like this. Property search of the day. Property list of the day, maybe. 55 plus homes. Do high-end 55 plus homes. Priced over 500,000 in Pinellas County. Now I can use the thumbnail that popped up automatically, or I can take a little more time and maybe do some kind of original image, right? That would be interesting. So let's search senior couple. And generally like pictures of people, you know, smiling is good. So I'm just gonna grab a picture of some people in front of the house. I was hoping I'd find them in front of the house. Here we go. Okay, and then I'll paste this in. It took me like 5 seconds to do that, right? I went to Google Images, and this makes it a little more relevant. And you guys know who watch me here, sometimes I'll get a little crazy, and I'll have all kinds of fun with your images to kind of draw attention and do a pattern interrupt. But if you're doing this and you're trying to be done in 2-3 minutes, this is how you can do it. So you just do this and you just say, click the link. Now, I did grab the longer version of the link. It might be prettier if you grab the short version. Either way is fine. And then I just click post. Now, if you can do this, so that was an example of a list of properties. I could have easily said property of the day and then grabbed right here. I could have gone to single property and just put a listing ID in and posted my property of the day. If you do this every day, what's going to happen, of course, is you're going to show up. You're going to be out hanging out with friends and they're going to be like, hey, I really like that house you posted last week. And you'll think that nobody saw this thing on Facebook. Maybe you only get like 2 likes and there's not a lot of engagement, right? Or you didn't generate any leads. But what's happening is as soon as I posted this, probably 20 to 50 people I know saw this in their Facebook stream right away, maybe more. And they just remember, hey, Ryan's in real estate. That's all we're trying to do here. And a bonus is if they actually click the link and they land on my site and they do something. And even bigger bonuses, there happens to be somebody in my sphere who is looking for a home, right? Who's 55 plus, and they private message me and were like, hey, I just saw that list you posted. I'm actually, my mom's actually looking for something like that. So totally free. Facebook is free. LinkedIn is free. Pinterest is free. Whatever channel you want to use. 5 minutes of work every day, maybe before you check your email. And I think you would be hard pressed not to do at least 1 extra deal a year if you did this every day. It would just naturally happen. Somebody's going to want to do some business with you. So that's our basic property list of the day. It leverages kvCORE's squeeze functionality. So here's the multi-property, the single property. You can also post seller squeezes and market reports of the day too. I've never actually thought of this, but I could easily just do this as some content, right? I can do, hey, market report of the day. So generate link. There we go. Now it's doing the right website for me. And I could do market report of the day, 33711 zip code, right? And then I would share this, and it should, I'm already logged in. So it didn't make me opt in. See, Mickey Mouse is already logged in up there. But if I wasn't logged into kvCORE, it would have had me register to see the market report. So you can use that to generate leads as well. So any of these squeeze categories, these 4, make for great shareable social content. Okay, super basic, free. And I'd like to hear from people watching. Are you already doing this? Or are you like me and you know you should be doing it, but you only do it like here and there? So, I think the best thing, all habits, they take what, 21 days, 30 days, something like that. Just put it on your calendar. Karen says she does it, but not enough. Yeah, it's easy. It's just easy to forget. I think you can actually schedule on Facebook. For some reason, I've never taken the time. How do you do that? Somebody knows who's watching. Can't you schedule? Maybe you can schedule it out for the week would be one way to do it. Or maybe you can only do that on pages or groups. Not sure. But that might be a good way to kind of get some level of consistency there. Okay. And client profile. Let's see. In Facebook, Robbie? Oh, only on pages. Okay. And publishing tools on pages. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I should mention that highlights something. Definitely post this to your business page if you have a following there. But I am a big fan of doing this on my personal profiles because there's just way more people who are going to see it on your personal, especially if you have hundreds of friends and your business page might only have like 50 likes. But if you post it on your personal profile, hundreds of people are going to see it. And Rachel's asking a really good question. Do we need permission from other agents to advertise those? You can check with your broker. You're going to open a can of worms with some people who don't quite understand. But all we're doing here is we're sharing a link to our website, right? Our IDX website where we've signed agreements, or our broker owner, we have agreements in place with the local MLS board that we are allowed to show other agents' listings on the site. So that's a common interpretation of this. Don't take my word 1,000% for it, but you're not taking their listing, making a post, showing a video of their listing on your Facebook thing and pretending that it's your listing. You're just sending them to your site. If they click here, then all of the IDX rules and everything around it are going to take place with respect to having to say the listing agent's name or whatever else. So yeah, that was my long-winded explanation. But
hey Ryan,
good.
It's Kelly. Can I pop in a quick little pro tip? You know me, I love my pro tips.
Yeah.
If you go into a post, just click on what's on your mind, you're going to do a post.
Okay. Yep.
And then click on under public who you're going to address it to.
Oh yeah. Yep.
If you go down and you go to custom, you can create custom lists. So if you have, I have a list of everybody in my farm that I'm friends with on Facebook, and I put my farm in there, and it'll pull up and it'll target only those people in that farm, or it'll target those particular friends. So this is a great way to create a niche within Facebook and then share that niched content, that squeeze page or landing page.
This is kind of fun. You could kind of troll your friends, couldn't you?
Oh, well, here's what I do. I'm older than dirt. My kids tell me that all the time. And my friends are approaching, their kids are graduating from high school. So I'm starting to post some of those, thinking of downsizing, thinking of relocating, condos to buy for your kids while they're in school, those kind of posts. And I've got a whole list of 55 and better friends that I share specific content with. This is how you can exclude and include people on posts that you put.
Good. Yeah. Now I want to start hiding stuff from my wife. I get in trouble too often.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, that's a great one. And I remember at one point I actually made like a real estate list. You can kind of segment out here.
This is where people who have a lot of real estate agents that they're friends with, you can just do targeted lists and target your broker's opens and target your those lists that you're recruiting, things like that.
Yeah, or don't show other agents some of the cool marketing you're doing if you're worried about it.
Exactly. Take them all out and exclude them. And if you want to know how to create a custom list, you go into friends right up at the top left, right under your name on the far left-hand side.
Yep.
And you go in there and then you go down to the very bottom where it says custom lists on the very far left side.
Yep.
And then you go to, and you've already got yours, got a bunch of them.
Yep, create a list.
Uh-huh.
Okay. coworkers, something like that.
Yeah, then you could just post stuff to, then add your friends in there.
Are we friends, Kelly?
Where? I don't know. I hope so.
Kelly.
There I am, Kelly Bojarski.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, this is my. I gotta get all my coworkers in here because there's some stuff I don't want you guys to see. So
There you go.
some exclusions in there. All right, great tip, Kelly. Thanks. So that is social posting. Kelly, do you post on a regular basis?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, cool. So social posting of squeeze links, again, really just you can generate leads, but remind people you are in the business. Easiest thing ever. Okay, next one that I put as a freebie here, and I think it's super simple. I think some of us still go a little old school, and when you're out and about, if you're still handing out business cards, or if you're not, but you need a free way to generate conversations about real estate to lead to closings, take your business cards everywhere you go, hand them out. That was kind of the old school way to do it. But you can actually add calls to action to the back of your business cards. So I think we talk about this semi-frequently on these sessions, but basically you just, go into kvCORE. So we'll come here and we'll go into our call capture and we'll think about what's the juiciest, most interesting thing that we want to have people engage with our business. Like, what's our niche? So maybe it's home value report. We want people to get a free home value report. Or in my case, I like to do this deals. I just really like the idea of deals as a way to get people to opt in, whether I want to focus on selling foreclosures or not. I'll create myself a custom code like this. So add new code, you do deals, and you say, here's the link. And then I go to my business card, pretend my card's right here. So can I do a square? Pretend this is my business card. And then on the back side, I just say text deals to number, right? So the smart number in your system. And I would argue that this should be as ugly as possible. I know you want a pretty business card, but make it tastefully ugly. So or just make it stick out in some way. So if they're looking at your card and they flip it, it's got yellow background in the highlight. And then be intentional about this. Don't just make it plain text that will just blend in, is what I'm trying to say. And then text deals to, get rid of that highlight, to number to see a complete current list of foreclosures, fixers, reductions, and other deal types in Pinellas County. So that's a strong call to action that anybody who gets my card, maybe I meet them at a bar or something or wherever, they flip the card and they're bored, they'll text deals to the number, right? So my number. So totally free. I'll ask for a show of hands again. Does anybody have this on their card already? Or are you doing calls to action on the back of your card, similar to this, that you'd like to share? Something like that. And then maybe you put a picture of a foreclosure sign or something like that. So next time you order cards, if you're not ready to do that today, definitely think about this. Pay a few extra bucks. Oh, it's not free, but do the back side of the card. If you want a totally free way to do it, have your kids go and write this on the back of your cards with handwriting. right now, so you don't have to order new cards. All right, so that's one idea. The other way you would do it, I have links and text codes. You could also do visit 727 deals, real estate deals, right? And that basically gives the same thing where you have a kvCORE landing page. Somebody goes to that URL, it redirects over to the landing page. Just give it a second here to redirect. And it'll offer that cord thing. I think we talked about this last week on the session.
Ryan, I slacked you one of my new favorite postcards, and I'm going to make my next business card look just like this format. It's got a 1, 2, and a 3 where you can use the go to URL, scan your QR code, and I'm going to show a text code as my option. It's a pretty cool photo if you want to pull that up, and it might give some ideas, some creative ideas. Isn't that cool?
Oh, yeah.
And then I would do my business card like that. Choose the best way to contact me. Go to URL, scan a QR, and then instead of a barcode, I'd probably just use a text code there.
For sure. Yeah, very cool.
I love
Good
Quick
for
Quack Car
inspiration.
Wash.
So, we did that whole session on QRs last week. If you guys missed it, definitely check it out. But QRs are pretty much a free way. So it should be included on this list. Just put them everywhere, right? So, yeah, great. So next we have the old famous, I might need your help here, Kelly, a little bit, but old reliable, that is open houses, right? So I think all of us, when we were new agents, were told to go do open houses. And as far as I know, they still really work, right? If you're
100%. Here's the way I look at it. If somebody is going to get up off the couch and walk over to an open house, even if it's a nosy neighbor, you know right off the bat they're a prospect. You know it because they had enough interest to get over there. So those are to me, the best possible leads you can get. And anytime I can do an open house, I jump on it. I feel like I get the best leads that way.
Yep. So just remind everybody, we've got the kvCORE open house app, right? So I think this is it.
Yep.
Here it is in the Play Store. I wasn't prepared to show this like on my phone mirrored, but basically you can download the app, set it up for the specific open house, and anybody who fills out, who signs in, then becomes a lead in kvCORE. So you could, as a new agent, you could say, the only way I'm going to deal with kvCORE, I'm not going to do anything else except every Sunday or Saturday, I'm just going to do as many open houses as possible and use that app and probably build a pretty good practice around that without spending any money, would be the theory here. And of course, as you're doing the open houses, so I have here open houses, use app, and then definitely social post, the open house you're attending, right? So back to the social post. Hey, tomorrow I'll be at 123 Main Street. Here's a link to the property. Definitely come by and see me. And then email, use kvCORE to email text to relevant segments of your CRM. So, if you're doing an open house Friday, or you're doing an open house Sunday, maybe you have a recurring appointment on your calendar with yourself that says, hey, promote the open house I'm doing. And you come in here and you could just go to all your existing contacts, check them all off and say, open house this Sunday, 123 Main Street, right? So you just check them all off. Kelly, are you noticing this? It's this particular page when I'm on Zoom doesn't load.
Yeah, I think it's because there's a lot of data in there. Things slow down for me when I'm on Zoom too.
Yeah. So I click it and I filter for who I want, or maybe I just send to everybody. I check everybody off. And I can just do a mass email or text straight from here by clicking mass email or mass text. You might also want to consider using the scheduled mass email. So say you're preparing.
Yeah, that's what I do. I use the scheduled mass email because then I can tie it to a save filter or a hashtag group.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a template built out for it. I have just a nice regular weekly reminder. If you're looking for something fun and free to do, come see me at my open houses. And then I just fill in the blank of where the address is. But if you want to take the time to create kind of a fun, fancy open house like that one, save it as a template and then schedule it into an email.
Yeah, this one appears to be in here. I don't know if this was one. I don't think I created it, so it might be in the system. Open house announcer.
It is, yeah. And then you just pop in the listing ID. It's done.
Cool. Yeah, I wanted to grab one here. Let's grab an MLS ID. Oh yeah, you don't see the preview in it though, right?
No. That's one thing to note about those advanced emails is that you can preview it and it'll show you kind of a semi version of what it looks like. But if you really want to see what your consumers are going to see when they get it, send yourself a test. And then it'll send it to your kvCORE address and you'll be able to actually see what it looks like with all the merge tags and everything in there. Otherwise, it's just going to give you a version of it.
Yeah, but definitely, for the purposes of this, free ways to generate leads, you could build a whole process for yourself where you say, every Monday, I'm going to think about what open. I'm going to find a listing agent to do an open for. On Friday, I'm going to schedule an email that goes out Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon that invites people to come to the open house. I'm going to schedule a post Saturday or Sunday morning on my Facebook and LinkedIn. And then I'm going to go, usually you're going to go do your directionals or whatever else you're doing to get the traffic, the street traffic to show up.
You know what else I thought about doing, and I thought this might be a fun thing to do if you want to sort of break up the monotony of open houses, is to get a list of properties that are in your brokerage and do some previewing of them throughout the week, and then do it as like a spotlight property. And then maybe on Saturday at 2 o'clock, instead of actually going to the open house, you could do either like a live Facebook event or or stream it somewhere, but you could do all of the same tactics and strategies, only you're previewing 5 properties. And you can take questions, you can do it, live stream it through Facebook as an event. And that way you're actually promoting multiple properties rather than just one. And everybody that's visiting you, it's like doing a virtual open house for 5 different properties.
I love it. We're going to create this right now. Let me answer Robo's question. He's asked, can you utilize the open house of someone when it's not your listing? The app, I don't think you can. I'm not sure. It might need to be an office listing. But you just need the permission, I think. So ask the listing agents if you can hold it open. I don't know in this market if they'll let you. But what Kelly's talking about might be applicable to that question, where you're just showing properties that are in the MLS, on some kind of group situation. So
like whenever I go out and try and like if I'm showing homes, I always try to take a couple of photos and spotlight a few key things about it, things I love about. I always do the things I love about the house, the location, the price, the property, whatever. And then if you're doing this Facebook Live, you can just hit up some of the things. Say, hey, I was out this week and I checked out 26 new homes. Let me tell you this one that I found over off of Main Street. It's got this amazing pool. If you're looking to be in this school district, try this one out. I mean, it's really a way for you to show your expertise as a local area expert and do it and really broadcast it live to a targeted group. You could do a whole advertising program around this where you just hold them as weekly like podcasts or webinars.
Yep. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to create a new event here following your idea. The one that I might do is maybe every Saturday morning do the 5 best properties to invest in in my area. So we'll do general. And this is pretty straightforward, guys. It's Facebook. So 5 virtual tour of 5 best Pinellas investments.
So Charlie's question is, can you do a live to a specific group? This is how you would do it. You'd make it a closed group and you would just promote it as a closed group. So what you're doing then is you could take the event page and put it in a landing page, and you could run an advertisement for it that you're doing a special VIP event for next level investors. There you go, next level investors.
Yep. So I'm setting this to private, but you could set it to public, or you can post it only to members of a group. So if you have a local group focused around real estate, you could do that too. Maybe we'll post this in Inside Real Estate, right? And then I'll do examples so everybody who sees this. Now, one thing I just noticed, guys, is if you do have your own group, it looks like if you schedule an event, everybody in that group will actually see the event show up in their events page, which is kind of interesting. So we'll just do this. So I can set it up as a Facebook Live. So at that time, I'll just go live on my screen. Next. Do a description. Oh, come on, Facebook. I think you get, you see that, Kelly?
You get the idea. Yeah.
You get the idea. It just arrowed out on me at the end. But basically, so then you get your event link, and the same way that you would promote an open house, you post it social, you email it out, hey, I'm going to be doing a tour of this type of property. And at the allotted time, you just go to your website and you have a doc like the way I do on these webinars, right? With links to the 5 properties on your website, and you simply scroll through each one and you talk about it. So,
and you answer questions. And you just talk to people in mass, and you just get a group involvement going. It's group engagement, which is awesome.
Yeah. So I'll do Facebook event, niche property tours, which is kind of what I just did, right? Like a type of property. And then you can also do first time home buyer. Should I sell? Is now the right time to sell? Special financing, anything you would do a webinar about, financing offers. things like that. But definitely, basically what you're doing is you're leveraging Facebook as your traffic source, knowing that that takes everything viral, and you're just creating content that references your kvCORE website. So you're going to use your squeeze links, your landing pages, your text codes, whenever possible, as a way to get people captured in. But yeah, oh, good one, Thomas. Recruiting. I definitely think recruiting, especially since we know that all of us, this industry is on Facebook for sure. So the way I would do it for recruiting, though, is do it value-based. So you could even copy a lot of the topics that we use here at Inside Real Estate, but just leave out the kvCORE part. So, 21 free ways to generate real estate leads. How to become a real estate agent and make 6 figures a year. Right? So you could do, in theory, all of us are kind of experts on these topics related, to becoming an agent, or, and there are a lot of people out there who would be curious about that, who you could use, they come to your event, then they're basically a lead that they attended your event. And yeah, you can follow up with them. So good idea. So that's events, always referencing your kvCORE resources. We don't have too many tools, guys, right? It's the open house app. It's the lead capture pages, the squeeze links, the landing pages, the text codes. If you stick to those, you're gonna be able to capture leads into the system and then let kvCORE's automation do its thing on the back end. But you're basically using all of these techniques to get the lead into kvCORE.
I wonder if the events page on Facebook, you can make a QR code for it. Because you know me, I'm on my QR code kick.
Yeah, I think usually there's a
there's a link to it.
An image, right?
Yeah, I think so. And when you go to the event page, I don't know, and I don't know enough about it, but I think in the event page there's a link, and then you can just go to that link through Chrome like we talked about last week and pull up the QR for it.
Yeah, for sure. So the actual event, let's see here. It's gonna error. All right. There's something to do with my environment, but basically take the link to your event and turn it into a QR code. And as Kelly said, if you click in Chrome, which I'm doing right now, it's gonna be really tiny for you guys, but you can actually create a QR code really quickly for any page like that. Mark's saying the open house app is fantastic. It is cool. It's just convenient. And all those leads come in with, I think it's an open house tag, right?
OH, it's OH and the MLS ID number.
Yeah, OH and the MLS ID. Oh, I think I wanted them to do also add an open house generic so that you can have the same smart campaign for every lead.
There is, there's that, and also setting up search alerts. I always set up search alerts that trigger other open houses, so they get a constant list of open houses. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, they've opted into an open house, so send them next week's.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Now, the next one here is a little bit more work, but there are plenty of people in this industry who use these methods, right? It's basically blogging, YouTube SEO content creation. I would argue now, back in 2008, 2009, I was all about blogging and helping build real estate blogs, and it worked, right? You could rank on Google and hyperlocal areas pretty easily, and you still can. But for my money right now, YouTube is where it's at. If you're trying to do a content creation SEO play, just because all the kids are there, even the adults are there watching YouTube all the time. And as it's a Google-owned property, YouTube, there is SEO benefit because people are searching YouTube just like they search Google. So, if I do Tampa, Florida real estate, you'll see agents doing those videos. So what you probably want to do with this approach is to start doing neighborhood tours of neighborhoods that might not have a ton of content being created about them. So like the Marina District, Gulfport. It's like a section within an area, right? There's probably going to be less going on. So you could do, maybe you decide, hey, I'm going to do a video a week with detailing all the latest Marina District listings, right? And you're going to just do it in person. You can get in front of the camera, or you're just going to go to your website and do a screencast video using something like screencast-o-matic.com or even Zoom or something to record, and just say, hey, here's your tour of the latest listings in the Marina District. So if I do ask, areas / kvCORE, that. Right. So maybe you would take this page and then you can talk about this link. Charlie, are you asking, will there be a link for this replay, what we're talking about right now, or for this page? It'll be at insiderealestate.com/webinars. It's actually already streaming to our YouTube channel right now. So if you go to the Inside Real Estate YouTube channel, it'll be one of the latest videos. So this page, guys, I think you guys know, you can do areas / city name or zip code. I'm doing it up at the top of my browser there. And you get this area page. So you could just do a weekly update about your market or a specific neighborhood, and then constantly post the title like Marina District or Gulfport Real Estate Update to YouTube. And before too long, because your competition's probably not doing it, you should start to rank anytime something related to that city or that neighborhood gets searched. You should show up. And from there, you just want to be a little strategic about putting calls to action in the video, telling people, hey, text, putting your text response codes in the body of the video and things like that.
But Ryan, you can also do those, what do they call them? Those little info tags inside the webinar or inside the videos.
Yeah.
You can add those little banners in there.
Yeah, annotations. I think they got rid of the annotations explicitly, but you have the cards, they call them at the end.
Cards. That's right. That's what they're called, cards.
Yeah. So I will show that because it is relevant. I'm going to go, let's just do a card on one of our videos here.
Because I put cards with text codes on them. I'll put a card and I'll say for more information, text, and I put it in a card.
Okay. Yeah. So let's look at the video we did last Thursday with Kevin about LinkedIn. I'm going to go to edit video. This is how you kind of add the calls to action, guys. The other thing that you can do is directly in your video, you can control the text overlays. So I just wonder if I had using something like Screencast-O-Matic, you can put text and stuff over that. That's a little bit outside of the scope today, but as you edit your video, put your text codes and landing page links, things in them. And then as Kelly was saying here, when we go to edit our video, you can see over to the right, we have an end screen and we have cards. If I click cards, you have the ability to plug other videos. So maybe from all your videos, you pop up a related video that basically introduces yourself. You can link to playlist channels, and then you can link directly to your website from cards. It's just a little bit of a process to get into the YouTube partner program, and you have to verify the link and things like that. I just haven't done it on this account, but it is possible. For my money, it is kind of easier to just put it, use the cards.
Yeah.
It's kind of easier to just put it in the body when you create the video.
Yeah, just slide it in when you're editing it. And you can do that through your whatever iPhone or whatever whatever QuickTime you're using. I mean, anywhere you can edit it something.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find, I deleted all my stuff here. I don't even have a good example, but basically inside of a video, so let's just record a quick one. I just kind of want to, I don't want this to be too abstract. I want to show what I'm talking about. So I'm just recording a video here, blah, blah, blah. I'm done. Now I'm in my edit screen. And what I'm talking about in Screencast-O-Matic in particular, it goes as an overlay, and I do text. And so say, it'd be like text deals to number to see that same call to action I did on the business card, right? And we would just put that, make it look a little prettier, put it at the top or the bottom. And then the interesting thing about Screencast-O-Matic and a lot of these video creators now is you can actually directly upload straight to YouTube from there. So you don't even need to leave. If you think about it, you don't even leave the office or the house to do a bunch of real estate videos, because you could just use the content on your kvCORE site as fodder for the videos. Now, occasionally people are going to want to see you out and about in the neighborhood. But yeah, you can do it that way. So I'm going to just rattle off some topics, like some ideas for types of videos. So screencasts, area pages, screencasts, property searches, individual listings, in-person tours, business tours, right? Go to a local business and just tour and interview a neighbor, neighborhood driving tour. I think the key here is if you are making an SEO play, be strategic about putting your titling it consistently and using keywords. And I'm going to plug, I talked about Udemy here and there, which is like an online learning site. You guys have probably all seen it, I think. I learned a couple of weeks ago that you can buy Udemy courses one-off, but I learned it, they actually have a membership, and I signed up for the trial, and it's awesome. Basically, you can get access to everything they have on their site for something like $30 a month. And if you're an info junkie, like I am, and you like Johnny 5, you always need input, short circuit style. It's just awesome. So I'm just plugging that. But there are some courses in here about YouTube SEO that I'll kind of reference for anybody who's going to go down that rabbit hole, right? So you know, just usually the top ones that have the most people and highest rankings, you know, most students are going to be the ones that you want to check out first. So Thomas, I give you to Johnny 5. So you can buy these, usually they have sales, but I thought that the free trial of the of their thing is awesome. I just kept paying for it because there's just so much information in here. But you can see YouTube SEO secrets course, and you can basically learn all the tactics that the gamer kids and all the people making millions on YouTube use and just apply them to your real estate business. And from a content perspective, if you're not super hot on video yet, just use screencasts. It's a good place to start. You don't even have to get on camera. And then as you warm up to it, then you'll get out in person and get your production values higher. Either way, YouTube the algorithm doesn't really know that the production quality is super high. The only way it knows, I think, is based on engagement, how long people watch the video. So as long as the content of your video and what you're talking about is relevant to the person searching, you can still, you know, get good SEO going. All right. Lisa's saying back to the basics. Are you joking? Was that not too basic? Or are you saying yes? Sorry. Well, yeah, blogging and SEO probably is not basics, but that's the free way.
You know, the other thing about blogging, and just keep in mind that your blogs, links to your most recent blogs show up on all those listing alerts that go out that you have set up for all of your kvCORE contacts. Your blogs are showing up there. So for brand identity and just staying top of mind, even if you're just blogging something simple and thinking, okay, you know what, I'm going to use my kvCORE as my own social media platform. Why should I start on Facebook? Why should I start on somebody else? Just do a quick blog in here about here's the top property pick of the day and put it in a blog post. It's going to get sent out attached with all those listing alerts. So there's that. They also show up on your website. So there's that. They also become searchable. So there's that. Just by doing them, it's a great place to host, you know, relevant content that may or may not get picked up outside of kvCORE. So I feel like it's really still very, very relevant to do blog posts, even if this is where you're starting, because you can also take the links for your blogs and then put those on Facebook and try and get people to go back to your website to see it. That's going to help with your SEO, right, Ryan?
Yeah. So definitely, I went into this whole thing about YouTube, but I almost forgot we have a blogging.
We do. And if you scroll down to the bottom of this, if you go down to the bottom of the blog post on the side, you can blog in advance. So, you know, pick an hour and do, you know, 4 or 5 property picks of the day and schedule them to go out for the next, you know, month and a half, and you're done. You've got it all done and it's out of the way. So.
Yeah. And then if you're creating videos, remember, you can take the video, put it on YouTube, and then put it in here in your blog posts. So you hit the embed little caret there and you put it in. There is some benefit to linking between your main website and YouTube, kind of from an SEO perspective, having the traffic go back and forth. Again, SEO is it's kind of tough on the short tail, meaning that the main keywords have kind of been won out by Realtor.com, Zillow, but you can still go hyper local into specific neighborhoods or specific business names if you do a video about a business, and you can still rank. So, and again, it's free traffic. So, and then, so that's that. And then the last one I had on here, we just did a webinar with Kelly, right, about engaging your sphere. And this is always going to be, it's kind of similar to posting on Facebook where that's your sphere is watching it, but there's nothing stopping you from committing to a program of just reaching out to 3-5 people every day. right? And just asking them how they're doing and if you can help them. And the biggest thing I think you can offer as you engage is it okay if I send you $1 million homes in your area? It's fun, right? So basically get them to consent to property alerts. Is it okay if I send you updates whenever one of your neighbors is selling their house, so you always know the value of yours? That kind of stuff. So engaging your sphere, and then I'll put a note here, getting consent to send property alerts is kind of my favorite angle there, but you don't even have to do that. It's mostly just about engaging people and reminding them that you exist, right? Any more thoughts on that one, Kelly?
Well, there's a whole, we have that whole
Sure,
webinar devoted to that, but I definitely think that staying on top of your sphere is huge, 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 huge.
Yeah, and then I'll get that for everybody who's watching. So it's in the webinar playlist here, isn't it? Or did I only put it in next level? Let's see. We just did that, didn't we?
I thought that was about 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, maybe I scrolled down too far. Sometimes I call it something else. New agent tactics. That's what we called it. That was actually a similar topic to this, but it was pretty focused on sphere. So there we go. I think that was the one, right, Kelly?
I think so too.
I'll drop this to everybody. So it's a new agent tactics webinar, and we went pretty deep on sphere. Kelly has like a spreadsheet and things like that you can check out.
That's when we did our 10 by 10.
10 by 10, yeah. So that's what I had for today. My voice, I can feel it going. I'm talking too much. So does anybody have anything else that you would like us to explore today, or a topic for tomorrow or Thursday that you'd really like us to dig into, something that you'd like to see explored live on one of these sessions? Let us know in the comments now. If you're not already subscribed and you're watching on YouTube, or you're not subscribed on YouTube, definitely do subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to try to get my pay attached to number of subscribers we get on YouTube. So you might help me out. It was one of those things I was thinking about today, Kelly. I was like, if I were incentivized to get more subscribers, I bet we can get that number up. So
there you go.
So go ahead and do that. Robo's asking how and where to post PDF files. I could touch on that quickly. I mean, a PDF file, basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to turn that into a link. And then you can share it in emails or share it within blog posts, but you need to get the actual file into link format. The kind of the best way and easiest way to do that is to just use Google Drive. So if I just go to my Google Drive here, and I hit new file upload, and then I can just grab that's a tax document. Let me see. Let me find a PDF. Get one of my daughter's math forms. So you can upload the file directly. Can that upload? Sorry, I just want to show you guys the process, but you click to upload it. Here we go. Oh, it did it down at the bottom right, guys. Sorry, it was hidden. And then if I click on that, I can now click the dots at the top right and share that. And that's a good way to give somebody the link. Just be careful that you're setting the sharing settings here so that anyone with a link can see it, not restricted to just you or people who have the link.
Make sure you have it set to either viewer or editor, because if you let them edit it, they can go in and make changes to it without you knowing about it. So just make it sure it's set on view. Yeah, but that's it. Basically, any PDF, you turn it into a link, and then you should share it in blog posts and emails. Tom's, the search functions used to filter as you typed. Now you have to search. I will look at that. Let me make a note. Sometimes that has to do with speed too. Sometimes it lags out, but maybe not. I'll definitely look. And when are more playbooks coming? I think the next few are coming in the next month or two, as far as I know. By the end of this quarter,
not 100% sure, Thomas, but I know that they're actively building those right now. Am I right on that, Kelly? I think I probably have more time. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to overcommit, but I heard they were coming out in the fall release.
Okay, so maybe fall release. Okay, so Robo says, where would you place the PDF in kvCORE? Oh, so, well, it depends where you want people to see it. So,
well, go into, I think what he's asking, probably, at least I would ask, is in a contact record. So say you have a, like a link to a contract or something, and you want to add it into a contact.
That makes sense. I see. Load. I was sitting with product guys in person last week, telling them about this, and of course, it worked totally fine for me. Super fast. So let's just grab a contact here. Oh, Mark says they disappear when he adds a PDF to a contact. Where do I go, Kelly? I've never tried that.
You go up to the files section right there, and then you browse your files and you drop it from your Google Drive right there. Browse files.
Very cool.
Yep.
So that's one way, Robo. What I was telling you was kind of how to take some kind of free report or PDF you had laying around. And if you want to send it to somebody, you could do it that way. I wonder, can you share these files once they're uploaded in an email?
In an email, you just have to link it. No, I don't think so from here, because you don't get you'd take the same shareable link you did before.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. This is just kind of like a housing place for it. It just stores it on the kvCORE. So it just links it to it doesn't actually store it here. It links it to your contact. That's all.
Gotcha. I need to do some cleanup here in my files. There we go.
And keep in mind you're in Delia's.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how it uploads. And then do I click view all files? Oh, that would take me to my drive.
It takes you to your drive, and that's what it does basically.
Okay. It just uploads to the drive. Okay.
Kind of attaches it, keeps it there as an attachment. So if you wanted to have like a, if you wanted it to be able to get to like a task list, maybe you have a task list or something associated with them of your own. Yeah. I don't know. That's the only example I can think of. I don't usually use this to upload those kind of things.
Yep.
And you can drag and drop, by the way. You can also drag and drop if you've got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think what Mark was just referring to just happened to me. So is that right, Mark? Because I went here and there's no file. So I will get this in as a bug. Okay. Files disappearing. Yeah, that's some stuff about files. Yeah, okay, he's saying it's stored on your root folder of your Google Drive and then renames your file to a generic name. So it's like you can't find it, basically. It looks like it disappeared, but it's there somewhere. Choose a subfolder. Yeah, it would. Choose.
That makes better sense.
Choose subfolder option, question mark. I'm doing this in my other monitor just as I get the notes over. Okay, great feedback. Thanks. I will let them know. Yeah, but thanks guys for the participation today. Hopefully you found this useful. I know it's a little basic, but it's fun to do these every now and then to kind of, it's basic, but it's kind of like, I bet you could, we overcomplicate things sometimes. Like, yeah, it works to generate a bunch of Facebook leads, off a Facebook ad and get Zapier and do all the techie fun stuff we do. But sometimes the answers are easier and it might just be a matter of doing one open house a week and using
I know a guy. I know a guy. There's
Yep.
a realtor in my area, and his entire career was based around 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. He does open houses. Literally, that's all he does. 9 to 5, goes to vacant homes. He has a whole process for working open houses, and then he shows houses on the weekends.
There you go. Yeah, I used to do them for REOs. So I would just let everybody know that I would be at a fixer upper at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Yep. Send an email out. Who wants to come? I get like 5 investors there fighting over it. So.
Yeah. I mean, you could pick a niche and just do open houses for those niches. Get to be known throughout the area as that niche type of real estate agent that's willing to hold an open house. And work with agents in your area to hold them for them. I don't mind when anybody holds my houses open. So it just depends on, again, be compliant in your area.
As long as it's not sold yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sold.
Brittany had an unrelated question. One of my business areas needing improvement is doing a good buyer consultation where I can set expectations for the buying process and knowing what to keep buyers abreast of while under contract. Could you point me to where I can find some guidance on this?
I tried to answer in the group, and I did the bad answer. I just pointed you to other coaches, but I don't have any content on it. How about you, Kelly? What do you think?
You know, honestly, what I did was I added a custom page. I add those as custom pages on my website, and I'll have links to, you know, like when you did your Calendly next level on how to add buyer consultations. Something as simple as just having like a calendar on there where they can schedule appointments so they can have that meeting with in person, or having a, you know, just a list of things to do. Like I don't work with renters a lot, but I always get people asking me, what do I do to rent a house? And so I did a little PDF, you know, ready, set, rent, and it had the checklist of things for my renters to do. And I just added that as a page on my custom page. Then I started doing landing pages around it because there was a lot of people that needed that kind of stuff. So use a custom page.
Yeah, so basically, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, put it online so it can be referenced later.
Yes, exactly.
But the actual content of your meetings, Brittany, like techniques around, you know, kind of like what you would cover in a consult, is a little. We just haven't wrapped our heads around that too much because we're so focused on this tech marketing and lead gen stuff. I bet you Tom Ferry or some of those guys have some content around this. Some coaches that I find to be underrated who are friends of mine is Your Coaching Matters.
Breakthrough Broker has a ton of stuff.
Okay, Breakthrough Broker.
Yeah. Go to try Breakthrough Broker because they actually have some marketing stuff. Check with your escrow people too. Escrow people, believe it or not, have a lot of good marketing stuff that they can give you, like on the home buying process or on just like roadmaps for buying a house. Sometimes they have great infographics that they're willing to give you in brochure materials. You might have, but I use Breakthrough Broker a lot.
Here we go. There's still one from KW. This is a little different. Anyway, yeah, sorry, Brittany. I wish we could be more helpful, but that's it. Yeah, my response was the same one I just gave you. I just gave you some links to other people. All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll be back tomorrow. Not sure on the topic yet, but it'll be fun, I'm sure. And thanks again, Kelly, for being here.